Tippy time, my damies, Topgate here and welcome back to the channel. I spent the last few weeks making ability spam builds, so I wanted to throw my attention into chucking out some raw DPS with our weapons. This Solar Warlock gives us full-time access to both Radiance to increase our damage paired with a full-time restoration to keep us safe. We have a near permanent damage bonus that's hard to beat with a stupid quick super generation without using any mods or fragments to achieve it. If you like this build, thumb it, I'll leave a dim in the description below. All that said, let's begin with our exotic, the Mantle of Battle Harmony. Its armor perk Absorption Cells has two main functions. Firstly, takedowns with weapons that have the damage type matching your subclass element will grant you super energy. This works extremely good. Now the well already has one of the best cooldowns in the game, but without using any mods like Ashes to Assets or Hands On, we can get our super back on average every 45 seconds, but given a large enough crowd of enemies, 30-second supers can happen often. Now there is another exotic for the well that a lot of you Solar Warlocks use, but I know for a fact most of you actually use it because it looks cool and not the fact that it actually returns well energy to you from kills inside the well. I'm telling you this because in my opinion it is shithouse compared to the Mantle of Battle Harmony super gen. Especially when we take into account the Absorption Cell's second purpose, it's a no-brainer. Whilst your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. Now this isn't our only damage bonus. My base damage is 7856. Absorption is a 20% bonus and works like a rampage of sorts for 9427. We're double stacking Solar Surge for a 17% bonus. Ember of Torches powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. So this way, between Radiant and Surge and Absorption Cells, we only need two of these three buffs to give us a 45% damage bonus. In order to loop this buff into a full-time effect, we begin with Heat Rises. This can allow us to fire our weapons, melee and throw grenades whilst we are gliding. We consume our grenade to activate it. Whilst we have Heat Rises, Final Blows while airborne increase the duration of Heat Rises, and just as important, it grants us melee energy. Also, when we consume a grenade, we activate Cure. This heals us in a burst of Solar Mending Light. We're going to be using Firebolt grenades. Touch of Flame aspect increases the target search radius and maximum target count. In the artifact, Flare Up makes the grenades apply more Scorch stacks and spawns a Fire Sprite. Solar Surge, by collecting a Fire Sprite, it'll give us an armor charge. Rain of Firebolts gives us a second charge. Not only do these grenades scorch, ignite and kill a lot easier, but having two of these charges makes our damage cycle so much easier. Pick whatever melee you prefer in order to radiate, however Phoenix Dive is essential. This ability is proper S tier now. While Heat Rises is active, you gain Restoration whilst diving and Scorch targets when landing. So at the beginning of any assault, we're going to consume our grenade to activate Heat Rises. We're going to flick out a melee to get Radiant, then Phoenix Dive down on them to get Restoration ×2. So this ability combo is going to give us access to our healing and class damage buffs. So we're going to need some solar weapons to make the Mantle of Battle Harmony work, and it just so happens that in Season 20, we have 3 Year 1 exotics that got massive upgrades. The Sunshot has been buffed with the addition of Scorch added to its Sunshot effect, but in Bungie's next patch it's also going to receive a massive 25% damage bonus inside of PvE. The Polaris Lance is a similar tail. Its perfect 5th shot now also applies Scorch damage. And if we continue to hit crits, we can continue to lay down good supply of Scorch and create ignitions against our foes. However, my personal favourite for this build is the Prometheus Lens. Its trait is Prismatic Inferno. It fires a solar trace beam that creates a field of heat energy that grows as the weapon is fired. Sustained damage applies a Scorch to the target, and if we chuck out enough heat we can cause an ignition. So now that we've got these exotic toys to play with, we've got Radiance and we've got Restoration and we've got a 45% damage bonus, we can loop them all with Ember of Imperium. As I stated before, we begin by consuming our grenade to get Heat Rises, we flick out that melee to get Radiance, then Phoenix Dive down to get Restoration ×2. It's here that Ember of Imperium takes over, Solar Weapon and ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. This way we keep killing, we keep making those orbs, we get our surge up, we got restoration, we got radiance, we are unkillable, but we kill everything. We're going to make it more potent with Ember of Ashes. You apply more Scorch stacks to targets, making both our abilities and any weapon that scorches more potent. And this is one of the reasons I've been favouring these 3 exotic weapons. Also, being that we have such an incredible uptime with our super, I'm running Ember of Combustion. Final blows with a super causes targets to ignite, and although it doesn't say this in the fragment, solar weapon kills whilst we're inside a well actually count as solar super kills. Now this leads us to our first mod, Power Preservation. Your super final blows create extra orbs of power for your allies. We're going to use the Reaper mod to create orbs on weapon kills after using our class ability, Solar Siphon for our rapid kills for our solar weapons. Time Dilation extends our armor charge, Stacks on Stacks is going to give us a 2-for-1 on our armor charge, and lastly Charged Up. This allows us to hold up to 4 armor charges. This way, by either collecting a sprite and an orb, or 2 orbs, we can have our Solar Surge active for a full minute. This way we have that damage buff active as we go from encounter to encounter, room to room in a strike, or for easy prep for damage bases inside of raids and dungeons. And lastly, I'm double stacking Impact Induction, causing damage with a melee attack reduces our grenade cooldown. And a Solar Dexterity as we are often swapping between our weapons for optimum gunplay. This exotic is slept on, guys, and I highly recommend you give it a crack. It's so much better than the Phoenix Protocol, and with Starfire Protocol nerf looking likely, Solar Warlocks are going to need something new to take its place. I've left a dim in the description. Thumb this video if you liked it. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.
Bottom of everything, he's the most tip-top.